last night when I
lemonade in a Guinness glass. Because I don't have any cups.
We'll just start a whole segment that is just the things we drank on the show.
Please.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name is Emma, and I'm joined from the Fourth Line, presented by Offside News. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired because of this. No, they won't. They can't fire me. I'm writing too many articles for them right now. If I'm not gonna cover the Ottawa Senators, who's gonna cover the Ottawa Senators?
That just leaves me to be fired. I'm at risk. I'm gonna lose my job.
You're not the one who says the intro, though. But yeah, remember, it's an offside. They won't fire us anyways. They don't get paid. Yet. Welcome back to the lab. So I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
Hello.
Look, in my defense, we're being thrown off by everything. We're recording this on a Friday.
I'm feeling particularly silly today.
Yeah, we're recording this on a Friday because somebody had to celebrate American Thanksgiving, and it wasn't me.
I'm sorry for having friends. I just won't do that in the future.
You're British.
Yeah, and I was celebrating with my American friend. Which, by the way, I just want to say, shout out to Thanksgiving dinner because it slapped. It was like all vegan, and it was so good.
You had tofurkey? Sorry, I don't mean to like wrinkle my nose at the food choices of other people, but I could never, mostly because I'm not a huge tofu person, but I don't think I could ever go vegan or even vegetarian. I I know it's bad for the environment, like eating meat and everything, but I do appreciate solid turkey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to eat less and less meat. So now, the only time I really eat meat is
when you're at home and you're not paying for it.
Yeah, it's Christmas and when I'm home because everyone else in my family eats a lot of meat. So
that's the thing too, is I eat I don't eat a lot of the meat. I don't eat a lot of red meat when I'm at school, mostly because it's so expensive. But I still do eat meat and stuff of oh, wait a minute, you had sausage today. You were just telling me about how you had
veggie sausages.
They were vegan sausages?
Yeah, they were the little corn ones.
Oh.
You sound so unimpressed.
No, I just had the same pasta last night and I used real sausage with real meat.
Well, yeah, next time look, Emma, it is getting to the end of the semester. Money is tight right now. I cannot be buying
I know meat is so expensive. So I can't afford to buy nice cuts of meat, but I still do eat meat. I just eat less of it than I do when I'm at home.
Yeah,
mostly because when I'm at home, I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, it's got to that
shout out, Mom,
where I've just bought loads of vegetables and I'm gonna make a soup and then put lentils in them and then freeze it so I've got food for a while because my bank account can't wait for me to get home for Christmas.
I was gonna say mine too, mostly because when I'm home for Christmas I'm working more. Yeah, so we'll do it. I'm honestly, I think you're looking forward to seeing me in my little corner with my computer propped up on my lap.
Little corner. I miss it.
For those who don't know, because I feel like we've mentioned my corner before.
We did. I remember we mentioned it at least once.
When I'm home for Christmas, I'm up at my chalet where I ski, where it's everything is open, where the desk is and everything, because we have a loft. So the only place that I can go to record and not get interrupted, or at least like not have like my parents in the background because they're like talking in the kitchen, is I have to go into my room or the basement, but the basement's always really cold, so I never want to like spend time down there because it gets cold. And you can still hear people like walking upstairs. And so is I'm in my room, but my room there doesn't have a desk. So I have like an armchair in the corner that I sit in and put my laptop on my lap.
I miss it. I can't wait. I'm so
It
excited.
also is because that's the only way where like my laptop charger can like reach. Like if I could sit on my bed and do it, but like my laptop charger isn't long enough for me to do that.
Mm.
So I have to do it from the chair. This like green velvet armchair. And so like if you listen to any of the podcast episodes through from like I think it was like whatever, like December 18th or something, like in around like December 20th, all the way through to like January 6th. Like we released like a fair amount of episodes through there. I think we only missed one, and that was because like that was actually Christmas. But we still put out like a bonus World Juniors episode out on Christmas morning that we pre-recorded, but we re-recorded while I was there. So like even that one was filmed from my corner. And it's like I always feel like you can hear the difference in the audio too. But it's because it's just like it's an emptier room. So everything's a little bit less insulated. It's a newer room as well. So it's just got that like echo to it. But yeah, this has been us stalling the start of the show to talk about the one game that we have.
Oh dear.
The one game, because this is what happens when like the Leafs schedule goes through a weird patch where like they don't have any games, is we literally have a singular game to talk about. And that is the Leafs were in Florida
kind of wish I could forget about it, to be honest.
Yeah, like that's the thing, is like there was the reactions to this game were a little bit mixed in the way of like people were like genuinely panicking, being like, this is what like the Leafs can't play playoff hockey or whatever. And but also at the same time, it's like, yeah, this wasn't the Leafs. This was the Marlies.
This wasn't even the Marlies. It was two children and a dream.
Like, I'm sorry, like we're gonna get into this game in a little bit, but like I'm sorry, at one point, like, and this is no offense to Nikita Grabankin. No offense to but like you also have to think about like this isn't still Nikita Grabankin was our first line left winger at a stage in this game.
It's getting rough out here. Real rough.
So bad. But yeah, so Leafs were in Florida. The former Florida Panthers, who are now Toronto Maple Leafs, got their rings yesterday before the game, like at like morning skate or before morning skate or like just after. At some point around while they were there for morning skate, they got their rings, and the Florida Panthers released a video about it. And it was really cute because they had like the whole team was there. They had this like room, whatever, and they had them like these boxes, and they all opened the box. It was really cute. Stephen Lorentz was smiling the entire time.
I don't think he knows how to like not smile.
Yeah. Just always happy.
Sunshine.
He is, and I think I've definitely said this on the podcast before, but it was like it's the fact that like probably in the last year he's literally lived out like his dream. And he said this before, he's like, I've won the Stanley Cup and now I get to play for like my hometown team that I grew up a huge fan, like true like Leaf sicko stuff. Like true Leaf sicko. Stephen Lawrence. And I say that in the most positive way possible, but and so like he's just happy to be playing for Toronto and happy to be playing pro hockey, and it shows in the way he just is like always smiling. And I think that maybe has an impact on like the Leafs could be not playing so well or they could be having a bad game and he's still like consistent in his performance of just like he's always giving 100%, which is really nice. And I think that's also kind of the guy you need on your fourth line for sure, or third, depending on what the lineup is, because I've looked at the lineup from today's practice.
I tried to forget.
Yeah. All right, moving into the game. Yeah, so Stollards got the start against Bobrovsky. A little bit of a little bit of a show up there, but there's still no Matthews or Nyes in the lineup, and I think the lineup was the same, or it was different, or yeah, no, it was the same. Yes, lineup stays the same as it was against Utah, because you actually could not change it.
Nope.
Um,
Nothing you could do.
Nothing you could do. It was like thing is like the whole like, oh guys, like the whole team's hurt, but we're still winning. Like, let's just ride the Marlies in a dream kind of plan and like let's see how it goes. Like it worked for a little bit. It's obvious that it's not working anymore. And maybe some of that is the matchups recently. Like, like Vegas is still like a good team. And yes, you win against Edmonton, but like do you? Yes. Oh my, that was only like 2 games ago.
Oh my.
I've lived 1,000 lives since then.
Oh.
I've lived like 1,000 lives since.
It feels like an age ago.
Well, it's because I didn't play for 4 days between Edmonton and Vegas.
I just. Why?
Oh Jesus. All right, yeah, but like, so it only works for so long. Whereas like, oh, it's all right, guys. We don't need Austin Matthews. We can do it ourselves. You need Austin Matthews, and it was like I think where it was most obvious, like the two places where it was most obvious was the 5-on-5 scoring. Like it just isn't there, and it hasn't been, and you can see that, and I think we've talked about it before, where like that has been the issue, is they just haven't been able to at the same pace, which is very fair considering you're missing Austin Matthews, who could arguably be like one of like by the end of the season, still has a shot to surpass Matt Sundin's goal total to become the franchise leader in goals for the Leafs. Which, by the way, Austin Matthews is 27 years old.
He's not real.
Throwing that stat out there, just letting you know how long of a career you can have. He could play for like 10 more years. Not always scoring at the same rate, but I'm just saying like that's possibly how long his career could be.
That's wild. Like, what do you mean?
It's just a crazy thing to think about. We'll still in 10 years we'll be sitting here doing the show being like, remember when?
I'll be sat here, age 31. Like, oh, good time. Oh, 31. No.
Why did you have to say that? We still have so much of a show to get through.
Oh, I don't like that. Moving on.
Why did you say that?
I didn't even think.
Why did you say that?
I wish I could take it.
All right, guys, we'll take a break here.
Back in 10 years.
We'll take a break here just to get over this.
Not fun.
Yeah, the other sorry, where they were lacking. 5-on-5 scoring. And also as well, they were just getting outpaced by the Panthers defensively, just in terms of the fact, like, not that like the Leafs defense is strong, like the blue line. The blue line is fine. I saw people saying that we needed to start like selling off futures to like fix the blue line. Guys, the blue line is fine. I mean, like, they were getting outpaced by the Panthers defensively in the Panthers own zone. Like the forward defense wasn't there from the forwards, which is fair when half your roster is Marlies. Like when half your forwards are like when you have 7 forwards out because of injury, an 8th one because he got suspended. Yeah. And you're then relying on like 4 AHLers. Yeah, no wonder like the forward defense isn't going to be there. like, no wonder it's going to be a struggle against a team that is as strong as the Florida Panthers. Like, yes, they were coming off a 4-game losing streak. When has that ever bothered the Florida Panthers before?
Never.
Right? There also was issues on special teams as well. Like, just like, obviously, like, the power play wasn't totally clicking, which is fine. You're without, like, your go-to net front guy. You're without Austin Matthews, which never really impact, but like it's just like I think Matthew Nye's not being there on the power play has had a pretty big impact with this team, which shows that you should probably re-sign him as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
And also just as well, like the penalty kill was struggling, and you could see that like Florida, like if Florida got a power play, they were scoring.
Yeah.
And like Florida's power play is pretty good, yes, but also just like you still have to be able to like stop that.
Yeah, it's
yeah, because all I remember at one point that like Barkov scored, and I was like, yeah, this is this game might as well happen. Or like I do remember cursing out Sam Bennett at some point.
Yeah, that
for his empty net goal. Look, Sam Bennett and I have personal beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made me laugh was last episode when we said, yeah, the Leafs are doing really well right now. It makes me scared about what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
We should have been scared. We should have been terrified.
Like, I think we were in our rights to be a little bit scared to go up against the Florida Panthers. Because, like, that's the thing is, like, the Florida Panthers, like, they are such a team where, like, they could lose 4 games in a row and it, like, won't bother them. Not won't bother them, but, like, it doesn't mean that, like, oh, you're playing them the 5th game. They're going to shut down. In fact, they're, like, odds are they're not going to, right? Like, and some of that is just the mentality of the players that you have on that roster. Some of it is, of course, the fact that you have Paul Maurice behind the bench. And it's Paul Maurice, which, like, love that guy. Wish he didn't coach a team I don't like.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And, like, Bobrovsky, like, that's the thing is Bobrovsky is older. I want to make sure I get his age right. Yeah, 36. And he's still damn good goaltender.
Yeah. He's all right, you know. He's been known to have the good game every now and then.
Yeah. More so about the Leafs because this is not a Florida Panthers podcast.
No. It never will be.
Bobby McMann did not return for the 3rd period. He left the game in the 2nd period. Like, he went down the tunnel halfway through the 2nd and did not return for the 3rd. And it wasn't like one major incident. It was like a couple awkward falls that he had. Like, it was like 2 separate things. He fell and you're like, okay. And then he fell into the boards like feet first.
Yeah.
And then you get nervous because how many times have we seen that? And then it results in a high ankle sprain.
Don't say those words. Nope.
Sorry. I think Marcie's ankle just started hurting.
I felt it. It's gone again.
But he did not return for the 3rd period, which, like, then, like, I'm not gonna say, like, okay, Bobby McMann could have totally turned this game around for the Leafs, like, single-handedly, but then you're putting, like, again, this is no ill will on Nikita Grabenkin, but you're putting Nikita Grabenkin up as your first-line left winger. He is not your first-line left winger.
No.
So he did not return. Craig Berube said that he could miss a couple of games. He is not going to play tomorrow night against in Tampa, but yeah. So not what I think the Leafs need right now is another injury to their forward group. Dropping like fly. Like that's that's 8. Yeah, whatever. That's their 8th forward out. Like what?
Like, at what point did we get called up?
At what point are you promoting like at what point are you like calling up East? No, I can't even. I was about to say, at what point are you calling up Easton Cowan from London? Easton Cowan right now is day to day and not playing for London.
So you can't even call him up.
I can't even make the joke of like at what point are the Leafs going to call up Easton Cowan, because you can't call up Easton Cowan. Which, like, fingers crossed. I don't know. I'm going to see the Knights play in Ottawa on Sunday, so maybe he's good to go by then. It's okay. I'll just watch the 2 little flyers, Barky and Bonk. No, I think Barky's also. I think one like.
Why is
I
everyone
don't know.
like flies?
I don't know. Like,
just that time of year.
I guess so. Another note that I have in here is that Mitch Marner is good at hockey, because he scored the only Leafs goal, which was an unassisted power play goal, which at one point had assists attached to it, and then they took the assists away. The assist would have been John Tavares and Nikita Gorankin and would have been his first NHL point, but no. They stole that.
We're not allowed to have nice things. No.
Mm-hmm. No. But yeah.
He briefly had his first NHL point.
He did. And then they took it away.
Yeah. But you know what?
But yeah.
I'm taking that as meaning good things for the future, because you know Bobby McMahon had his first NHL goal taken back. Therefore, Nikita Gorankin is going to have a brilliant next few years.
Run. Nikita Gorankin is going to come back after he gets sent back down to the Marlies. He's gonna come back next year with a vengeance.
Yep.
And the other thing that only happened like during this game is everyone thought that William Nylander was going to get suspended for high sticking I can't remember what it's Schmitz is his first name. It's his last name, not his first name. Jesus. I'm so tired. Is it Nate? Is it Nate Schmidt? I think it is. It is.
That sounds right.
Yes. He reason why his name is because he was bought out by Winnipeg over the summer. And so I looked into his contract briefly and then found a more exciting one to use. For an article that I wrote that is coming out soon, I think. I spent too long on that math. But yeah, in the face and was bleeding, and ended up being a double minor, and everyone's like, oh god, because like Timo Meier just got suspended a single game. It was like there's a lot of discussion when it comes to like cross-checking someone in the face. So everyone thought, oh, William Nylander's gonna get suspended. Honestly, though, maybe Department of Player Safety just felt bad for the Leafs and were like, if we suspend William Nylander,
someone's gonna like die.
Yeah. Who are you calling up then?
Yeah, that's when we get called up.
that's when we get. No. It's Nick Abruzzese. Or like Joseph Landisi. Are they even still like on 2-way deals? I don't know. Jacob Quillen? No, wait, no, isn't he a defense? No, he's a forward. And Matthew and I have to battle it out. Sorry, we're getting so off base with this. He did not get suspended, so we're having this hypothetical discussion. But yeah, I don't like this loss for me, even though, okay, first of all, it was not like it says 5-1. One of those goals was an empty netter, so it's more like 4-1.
Mm.
The lies I tell myself.
You gotta get through it
But like
somehow.
at least it's like when it comes to then like evaluating like a goaltender's performance, which like Stolarz had like a fine game.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like none of the goals were easy. Like there was just some like poor positioning by the Leafs defenseman, like in terms of just not so much even like the defense. It was like a thing where you have to go and look, and we don't have time to do that, nor do we have the ability to do this as an audio podcast.
Yeah.
We can't sit there and be like, and see in this screenshot, he was out of position. But like I don't think this loss to me like is setting off alarm bells because like look at the roster. If Matthews and Marner, not Marner, if Matthews and Nyes aren't like coming back tomorrow, spoiler alert, we could have like Connor Timmins as the forward again. Which when Bobby McMahon left the game, I tweeted that out. I was like, oh, okay, we'll have like Connor Timmins will be a forward by next Monday at this rate, right? And our good friend who we've had on the show before, Fabio, he replied with the actual lineup from that game. And oh, I forgot how bad it was. Like, first of all, it was against Tampa as well. Is that game where Connor Timmins was a forward. And the lineup, I just have to read this out because I literally looked at it and I was watching the game because I was also then I was watching the game with my radio co-host Mary because she was like, oh, come over, we'll have wine and I'll stay up with you to watch the Sens game that was starting at 10:30 because it's California road trip. My least favorite thing in the entire world. But yeah, and we were laughing over this because this is okay. So mind you, this is like game like 81 against Tampa in 2023. And you also have to keep in mind, like, this is when, remember, like, when we didn't even know if, like, Joseph Wool could get called up because of cap. And we were like, are we able? Because, like, our goalie, like, both our goalies were hurt, like, maybe hurt. And so, like, it was a whole thing. But, okay, so, for this,
Just give me
sorry.
flashbacks.
I'm having flashbacks looking at this. Sorry. Bunting, Tavares, Yarncroke, Nyes, O'Reilly. Mind you, this is, I think, Matthew Nyes' like second NHL game. First NHL game. Like, yeah.
God.
Nyes, O'Reilly, Nylander, Aston Reef, Camp, Timmins, Kerfoot, Achari, defenseman, McCabe, Liljegren, Brody Hall, Riley Shen, and then the goalies were Wool and Oniska. Remember, like, him? The U of T goalie who we flew into Tampa.
Oh my god. I love it when you were reading that I was trying so hard not to laugh.
Like this is a
How
real
did they survive?
regular season. I don't even remember if they won this game or not. I feel like I have to like now like look it up on Hockey Reference. Oh, not Hockey Fights, because I was looking up if Alex Kerfoot had ever gotten into a fight before. The answer is no. So no, I don't think he can fight. To the people who are asking that. Go back again. Like, mind you, also as well, like, yes, Marner and Matthews were not in the lineup for this. This team is trying to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
They won this game. What?
What?
Sure. All right. I forgot that they finished the season off with 4 wins in a row.
Oh my!
I
don't understand this
Sorry,
game.
I gotta look at this game. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, sure. All right. Luke Shen goal. Whatever. Sorry. This is a real goal that was scored in this game. Luke Shen assisted by Nola Chari. We watched these games too. Like we did. We both we watched these games. We weren't doing the podcast at this time. This team is so stupid. This team is so stupid. I forgot Kelly Yarncroke had like 20 goals. Like, oh, there was so many. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I forgot that the reason this game probably like ended up the way it did is because I'm looking at the penalty summary for this game.
No. I'm scared.
Tell me why. Oh, there's so many of them. Oh, yeah, no, Matthew Nice stick penalty. Yep, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That oh, because there was because Pat Maroon and Luke Shen fought.
Oh, I remember.
Morgan Riley had 6 penalty minutes on the night.
That's evil, Morgan
Oh,
Riley.
and then Michael Bunting and Corey Perry fought in the second period. Sorry, this is this game is so dumb. I'm obsessed with it. This was such a stupid game.
Madness.
Honestly, though, I want to see if I can try to find like a full like rebroadcast of this game because this game is so stupid.
That'd be so
Like,
fun to watch that.
it's hilarious because Michael Bunting got a fighting penalty and a roughing penalty in the same period at 2 different times.
Of course he did.
Sorry, we just had to take a sidebar for that because honestly,
It's wild.
but that's what we could get potentially. Who knows? But yeah, we are recording. It's good that we're not recording this yesterday because we would not have any of the information that we have now. So it would just be us going, I don't know if these guys are playing tomorrow. Who knows? Matthews is for sure playing. He did say himself, he is playing, which, okay. Nice. Rube said was a maybe, but I think it's like a strong case of he probably will be playing. They were both in top 6 blues at practice today. Both doing it's Matthew Nice was back for a full practice the day before, like the last practice for the Leafs. And also as well, I think then they'll come out strong. Hopefully then it's a good game because we all know how much Nyes hates Tampa. And he always plays really well against them. So yeah, also as well from Leafs practice today, Leafs were rolling out a 5-forward first power play unit. Because sure, why not? Why not become the LA Kings? Whatever. I'm going to assume that Mitch Marner is quarterbacking that unit because it's Matthews, Nyes, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, William. So I don't know who else you would have quarterbacking that besides Marner. Marner makes the most sense to quarterback that unit as the guy who could also play defense.
Yeah.
But I mean maybe Tavares you could have do that too, but you're going to want Nyes to be your net front guy. Right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, also as well, William Nylander on both power play units,
Sure.
which I think is I think led to the funniest, like the most like Craig Berube like little shit moment he's had so far with the media this season. Um, where he was asked about William Nylander playing on both power play units. This is via Luke Fox. Craig Berube gives a sly smile when asked about William Nylander playing on both power play units. He likes it. Got his ice time up. That's key. Get those minutes up. Which is funny when you remember about a month ago, William Nylander was asking for more ice time, like in the media, like during media availabilities. So I think it's personally hilarious. And I think Craig Berube knows that and is like, I'm gonna be able to a little bit like he wanted more ice time, he's gonna get more ice time. He's gonna play on both power play units, and he's going to have to deal with it of playing right like that's the thing where I'm like, okay, so if you get like a 5-minute major, then what are you gonna do?
Cry.
Die.
Yeah, or both at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, won't have Bobby McMahon. So the lines, I want to read these out because the lines were dumb and I got mad.
What's new?
Not anyone in particular, but I was just like, they were just kind of weird. Oh, here we go. Nyes, Matthews, Nylander, William. I have to clarify that because there was a tweet. It was like someone. It was like I think we've talked about it. There was a tweet that went out that was like Nylander goal and like wasn't specified which one, and I was like, which one? Yeah. Holmberg, Tavares, Marner, Robertson, Minton, Lawrence, Steve, Stewart, Rankin. Extras was Nylander and Reeves, who suspended. Which sure, all right, this can make the trip. And then defense pairings do not change. Benoit and Timmins as your third pair. Yeah. Which there's some changes there because at first there was a tweet that went out that was like, oh, Matthews centering Nyes and Nylander. And I was like, okay, so then who's with Tavares and Marner? Like, who do you put there? Because you don't have Bobby McMahon, right? The answer apparently is Pontus Holmberg, which, like, sure. All right.
Yeah.
You can't see our faces right now, but it's like that, like, Oprah, like, shrug meme, the gif, her shrugging. Like, yeah, whatever.
Sure.
That's my reaction to that, is that, like, Oprah shrug meme. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But, like, okay, so you're also, okay, Robertson, Minton, Lawrence. All right. I'm like trying to figure out, okay, so now you're having, like, I don't, I don't know. All right. Like, I don't, like, at this point, I don't know anymore. I feel like I don't know anymore.
Yeah, it's hit that point of everyone's injured. Well, we just don't know anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Like, I don't. Leafs play tomorrow in Tampa, and then they play again on Tuesday? Right?
Yeah.
No, they play Monday.
Okay.
For prime hockey. Leafs and Blackhawks, Leafs in Chicago, which all right. There are too many former Leafs on Chicago to make me feel comfortable about that game.
Yeah, I'm scared.
There are I know I should not be afraid of the Chicago Blackhawks, but there are too many former Leafs on that team to make me feel comfortable about this game. Because I don't care how bad they are right
We
now.
all know what happens when the Leafs play former Leafs.
A TJ Brody goal is a very real possibility.
TJ Brody hat trick.
The TJ Brody welcome back video gonna hit like crack.
Oh my god. I'm not ready.
TJ, the man who has been unknowingly responsible for nearly giving Marcie like multiple concussions.
And you know what? All of his concussions happen on that wall right there.
No one but me can see that wall.
To describe it, it's a wall with posters on it next to my bed.
Yeah.
Me and my TJ Brody induced concussions.
Yeah, we will do an episode before that game on Monday. And I'll have a bunch of hockey to talk about because I have 3 games to attend in the next 2 days.
Busy.
Yeah, extremely. I looked at my calendar for the next like week or so, and it just looks ridiculous because I have like 2 games tomorrow because it's Colonel by Classics. That's Ottawa and Carleton, and then Sunday I'm seeing Knights and 67s, and then Tuesday is Ottawa Charge home opener, and then Friday is Ottawa Charge at the CTC against Montreal.
Busy.
Oh, extremely. As like finals start too. I did this to myself. I could have added more games in through there as well, or I could even have added games like later on. I could have probably even gone to a game on Thursday night because they're doing a whole thing for Ottawa for the pizza line, which I am just a girl with an emotional attachment to Jason Spezza.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we have to talk about with the Leafs. Like there's a Leafs Blue Room coming out tonight.
I'm so excited.
With Bobby McMahon and Steve Lawrence, which I'm really excited about. I think 90% of the dialogue for that video though is going to be giggling.
Oh yes. They just started just by giggling at each other. Like they didn't just say anything, it's just eye contact, immediate giggles. I can't wait.
Yeah. I think that's all we have about the Leafs. Like it's hard because there was no games yesterday because of American Thanksgiving, which is honestly a lot of people always like say like, why is there never any games? Guys, the NHL will never win against when it gets put up against like the NFL. In the NFL, like Thanksgiving is like their biggest day. So I don't know. I am looking like I saw everybody's pictures of all their Thanksgiving like dinners, like in the offside work chat, everyone was sending pictures of their food, and I was so hungry. And all I saw on TikTok then is just more people with like pictures of their Thanksgiving dinners, and I got more hungry and like more craving like turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes and everything. Real turkey, not tofurkey. And then
you know what?
I went on Twitter.
The mac and cheese was so good.
Was it like vegan mac and cheese?
That wasn't vegan mac and cheese.
Oh, so it was like real cheese. Okay. That's like respectable though. I can't.
Yeah, but you didn't get any of Freya's really nice mac and cheese, so.
No, I did not. You did not mail me anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you lived here.
You cannot get me to switch to. You cannot get me to leave my glorious EST time zone.
And they were really good.
do love carrots and parsnips. I have experienced a good old-fashioned British roast. Carrots and parsnips.
Proper roast.
Oh, man. I want to go back to Toby Carvery.
Well, if you lived here.
This just is a sign that maybe I, like, after we're done recording, I need to start making dinner.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Which I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner. I don't have a lot. Oh, it's too late for me to pull out pizza dough, unfortunately. But anyways, instead of talking about our dinner, I just got really hungry, okay? I did eat lunch, like I have eaten today. I ate lunch. All right. I guess we'll talk about some goings-ons around the NHL in terms of this is what happens when like I have to stay up late a night this week to watch Sens in California because that game was. But happening around the NHL, I don't know if you saw Charlie Lindgren's own goal against Tampa.
Oh, I did.
If that happened to me,
I'd
kill myself.
I think I'd retire. I'd retire mid-game.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, in all fairness, it was a good goal, but just in the wrong net. Like, I love a goalie goal. Just
Not that. Yeah, that was, you gotta go watch the video for that. That was just bad. Like Washington ended up winning the game, so it wasn't like the biggest thing in the world. And like also as well as the Caps after all their wins releases a video kind of like not like making fun, but release a video after all their wins of like in the locker room and stuff about like the post-game speeches and things like that. And like it seems like the rest of the team were in good spirits about it. I think partially because they won. I think that always has the tendency to do things, but it's good that them as a team can laugh about it and be like, oh, haha, like silly, like your first NHL goal.
It's like when I said I wanted more goalie goals, that wasn't what I meant. But we'll take it. It was funny. I think I would have wanted that whole world to just explode. Because there'd be no coming back from it for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. But yeah, that was one of those things where you're like, that'll show up in those like NHL like fail compilate like.
Oh yeah.
If Steve Dangle was still doing dang it's.
Oh. It'd be over.
It'd be over, yeah.
I think he's never gonna be able to forget it.
No.
It will haunt for the rest of his life.
Yeah. But also as well because it was on the dad's trip too.
Oh. I'm just thinking if I did that in front of my dad.
Oh.
Could
no,
you imagine?
I'm just like, oh no, like I'm like, oh, they have to like sit on the bus like that bus ride back to the hotel.
What do you even say?
No, literally, like,
hi Dad, I hope you enjoyed the game. I just gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that happened. I mean, that was just something I wanted to point out that happened because it was like something else. Also as well, OHL expansion news. There was some rumors about it, like we didn't talk about it on Monday's show, or we did a little bit. Did we?
Yeah.
I don't have it in my notes.
I think. Or maybe we
from
didn't.
Monday's show. Maybe we didn't, but I feel like I forget where I've had different discussions about things. But yeah, OHL, there's been some news and some rumors around OHL expansion about them possibly, like, aggressive expansion is the terminology that they're using. And oh my, Justin Hall
What?
scored a goal.
What?
Justin Hall scored a goal.
No. Did you actually? Hang on.
Hold on. Sorry. I think this is the funniest thing ever to ever happen.
No, I need to see it. I need to see it.
This is so funny. Because I just got the notification for. I just got the notification because Kate like sent a message.
Hang on.
Oh my god, are you trying to pull this goal? Anyways, yeah, so there's the thing is right now because of Thanksgiving, because of American Thanksgiving, there's been games starting since like 1 o'clock, which means there's games running through when we would normally record during the week, because usually we don't like there's no games on.
Wait.
Record while we're recording, there's no games on, so it's weird having games on while we're recording because it usually doesn't happen to us. Is what I'm trying to say. Is like usually we're distracted by like news. We're not distracted by like games happening.
Oh, I found
But
it.
yeah. I was yeah, so you can watch that and was it a good one?
It would. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right, send it to me.
Was
But yeah, so anyway, so OHL expansion news. So there's been rumors about there's been rumors about the OHL having an aggressive expansion, which means 2+ teams. It was reported on by Elliot Friedman during the Hockey Night Canada Saturday headlines. It's been reported by various other sources, including Jeff Merrick, which moving on. And also as well, there's now been rumors that potentially the Belleville Senators could get moved to Hamilton because Hamilton is currently in the middle of building a new rink. And then putting an OHL team in Belleville, which there used to be a team in Belleville. The Belleville Bulls, they used to be there, and then they moved to Hamilton and became the Hamilton Bulldogs, and now the Hamilton Bulldogs have now been moved to Brantford because of these rink renovations, and are now the Brantford Bulldogs. And yeah, I don't know what to make of this because I think moving like obviously there will be the fans in Belleville will be upset by this because like they've had this happen to them before where like they've lost team and then they've gotten a team back and blah 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 and it's a whole thing. And also as well as I think it will prove to be difficult, and I know like other teams will have worse issues than this where their AHL affiliates are further away than their teams. Like you can't all be as lucky as like the Leafs or the Habs where their teams are literally located they either share the same practice facility or they're located literally like Laval and Montreal is the same city arguably. I know there's probably about to be a bunch of people who are from Montreal or Laval or even just Quebec in general about to get really mad at me for that one, but I don't care. And so then if you're moving the Belleville Senators to Hamilton, like that's a long drive from between Hamilton and Ottawa. But also as well, it is not even that it's just not that it's, but also like there's flight options and things like that, but that's just harder to navigate. Like the Ottawa Senators still have something pretty convenient with the fact that like Belleville and Ottawa is a fairly drivable distance. I think it's about like 2.5 hours. So it's not like the worst thing in the world. Especially with the call-ups that Ottawa's had to make as of late with that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know where this could go because a lot of this is dependent, I think, on how the USHL chooses to handle potential player number loss with like the NCAA eligibility being changed. Like that's where a lot of this is all coming from. And there's also been rumors of, an OHL expansion team in Toronto, which I don't think I'm not sure about how successful that will be. Like maybe it will be really successful, but also like there's already so many hockey teams in the city, like in Toronto, and it's that's such a already very deep market that I don't know how much room there is in that market for more, especially when you have the option of 3 professional teams, and then you have the Oshawa Generals that have like a really solid die hard. I don't want to say die hard fan base, and then you also have the Brampton Steelheads, which yes, they're struggling, but I don't know. There's a lot there to discuss about various expansion things like that, and what you will do if you want to bring in some USHL teams and how that will work logistically, just in terms of travel, because people have to remember that like these teams don't fly anywhere. All their travel is by bus throughout the season. Like the only time they would fly somewhere is like for the Med Cup. Like that's 3 teams to one play. Like so I don't know. I just like there's so much there that I could probably go on forever. We could do a whole podcast episode on like various topics surrounding the CHL and expansion and things like that, but I won't because that's not the purpose of the show. But yeah, I mean there's a couple. Yeah, I mean I'm trying to think of like what else we could talk about. David Juracek has been shopped around fairly, I don't want to say aggressively, but it seems like there's like 7 different places where he could end up. He was a 6th overall pick in 2022 and I feel like we did talk about him last episode. No, because you know why I was looking his stats and things like that for an article. But yeah, Columbus seems to be wanting to move him, but they want to receive like a young player, either a prospect or an actual player in return, and there's only so many teams that are willing to give that up right now, and the answer is not very many. So we'll see where that goes, and that's something just to keep an eye on in the next few days and things like that. But
Do you know what I've just realized?
What?
This is episode number 87.
Yes, it is.
Happy Sidney Crosby episode.
Yeah, it is yeah, it is. It also is our last episode for the month of November.
What a coincidence. So it's just like clicked.
Yeah. Like it clicked for me earlier because I was writing down my podcast notes. Yeah. But yeah. I don't know. I feel like, do you have anything else to add? Oh, well, PWHL's season starts tomorrow. Rosters were rosters were released today. There was not too many surprises, except for the fact that Minnesota only has 2 goalies and 14 forwards on their like regular roster.
Because, sure.
All right. Like, I don't know.
It's a choice.
Oprah shrug gif.
Oh dear.
But yeah, no, that's I believe because I wish they had an app so I could easily look up the schedule. Because I know Toronto is one of the games. And I don't know any of the other ones. Okay, so it's Boston and Toronto tomorrow at 2, and then at 5, it's Ottawa at Montreal. Yes. So that's exciting. I will try and I actually don't have time. Not that I don't have time. I will probably be unable to watch those games. Because I will be watching University of Ottawa take on Carleton from 1 to 7, like all day. That is my day tomorrow. So, yeah, but I will be at the game. I will be at Ottawa's home opener on Tuesday, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. I'll be getting to see Toronto as well, which is fun. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to add.
No.
It's hard when there's only one game. We very quickly run out of things to discuss.
Like, we run out of things to the point where we have to talk about dinner.
You know what? I'm hungry. Sue me. It's 5:30.
No, you need your din-dins.
I do need to be fed, but no, I was like trying to think. I was like, there isn't, because it's like even as well as like I think we said this like when it comes to even if we wanted to discuss like the Leafs, I think we've said this probably every episode for the past like week and a half, 2 weeks, that the Leafs need they need someone better than Max Domi, and they need a proper third line center. I don't know how many times I can say the same thing. What I can say is that some of you have mock trades out there for Sidney Crosby to the Leafs. First of all, the Leafs don't need a Sidney Crosby. We have 2 perfectly good top 6 centers in John Tavares, who's playing like it's 2018 again, and Austin Matthews, who's coming back from injury. And also as well, sorry, I want to mention this because this has been bothering me for like 3 days now, ever since you guys started throwing out your like Sidney Crosby mock trade. First of all, we're not getting Sidney Crosby. Kyle Dubas wouldn't do that.
No.
Let's be so for real right now.
Like you'd have to pry Sidney Crosby out of the Pittsburgh Penguins' cold, dead hands, and even then it'd be difficult. Like he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. What are you talking about? Also, I'm sorry. Keep in mind this is for 37-year-old Sidney Crosby. 37-year-old I know he hasn't slowed down at all. 37-year-old Sidney Crosby. This has been the most common one that I've seen. Cowan, Nyes, Hildeby, and a first. Are you insane?
That's madness.
Why are we trading away the entire Leafs future for 2 at best. Not even 2, a year and a half at best. I don't know how much more you're going to get out of Sidney Crosby than that. Sidney Crosby. That's like a future strong right winger for you in Easton Cowan. Who, like, I know he's not he hasn't played any NHL games yet, but like he's doing pretty well with the London Knights, and I know sometimes it doesn't always transfer over, but like at least in preseason we've seen him have success, and like I'm sure even maybe he won't be ready to come to the Leafs next year, but like he'll do well in the Marlies to just have a season there playing pro hockey, and like guys, come on. I think he'll become pretty good. Matthew Nyes, who is like, that's our first line left winger.
And emotional support of our goalie.
Yeah, that's your goalie's emotional support best friend. Like, guys, come on, that's so for real. But also as well as like you have spent how many years trying to hold on to a solid first line left winger? We've been it's been like forever. And you have one. Keep him. Why are we trading him? Dennis Hildeby, which why are we doing that?
Leave him alone.
Like, the Leafs have been finally able to develop goalie talent. Why are we trading it away when we know that like we're eventually going to need it and we're going to always regret it? And then a first. Leafs don't have many of those to begin with. Yeah. I know it'll be a late first at best. But like a first? You're going to still throw in a first? For Sidney Crosby. 37-year-old Sidney Crosby. Be so for real right now. I saw multiple people suggesting that. Multiple people. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why are we even entertaining this? I know I'm kind of hyperbolic and like saying, oh, why are we even entertaining the thought of trading for Sidney Crosby or like Pittsburgh trading Sidney Crosby when I'm sitting here talking about it? But like, guys, come on.
Also, you think he's gonna want to leave?
Because I believe he has like at least a partial no move. Also, like, this is Sidney Crosby, like childhood Montreal Canadiens fan.
Like, there will be riots. Like, you can't do that.
It's a full no move. He's a full no move. You guys. You guys.
Be so for real.
You guys.
Oh my god.
What are we doing here? I'm honestly asking, what are we doing here?
Delusion.
Perhaps.
Oh my god. I just can't take Twitter seriously.
I can't take, like, that was the thing too, and it wasn't, because I was like, it wasn't just that I was seeing it from, like, troll accounts, is I was seeing it from, like, people who were, like, genuine, like, members of the media who were, like, entertaining this. I don't think any of them were accredited, but I was like, you talk about the Leafs for a living, and you're actually genuinely entertaining this idea?
And I don't even know anymore. It's just insane.
I don't know, dear. I don't get it. Whatever. What can you do? With that, that's all I wanted to add, because I saw it and it ticked me off in a certain way.
No, understandable.
Yeah. Anyways, this has been like a nice little not kind of a breather before we like go into the month of December with the Leafs, which the schedule for that is absolutely like insane. And yeah, it's a crazy one.
Truly is.
Because so yeah, because there's like 4 games next week. Leafs have played 4 games in the last 2 weeks. I'm not joking.
I don't even know.
So, there's so many back-to-backs.
I need to get sleep at some point.
And at least all the there's like the games aren't like too like that's not West Coast road trip yet. That's March. Oh, actually, no, it's also the first bit of February is the Canadian West Coast road trip. Funny.
I don't even know anymore.
I think it is like really criminal anyways, we're not going to spend our time looking through the Leaf schedule. We've already done that and complained about it. But with that being said, we will end the show here. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back on Monday with another episode. In the meantime, if you would like to find more from Offside News, you can find them on all social platforms at Offside News Co. Or if you would like to read any of their articles, in case you want to know, hey, what's going on with the Ottawa Senators? I just put out a recap for that like 2 days ago. You can go read it at offsidenewsco.com. If you would like to never miss another episode from the show, you can go follow us on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth with the number 4TH. Or you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. And you can follow us there. And I don't know, rate us 5 stars if you really like the show. If you don't bother rating us. If you think that Marcie and I are hilarious and you want to find more of us, you can follow us on Twitter at 60 Leafs for Marcie, at PairB1 for myself. We're really funny, like all the time.
Yeah,
you should go follow us there.
I'm funnier when I'm not busy and not always stressed with a bunch of coursework, which will be over on Wednesday. I'll be free. I'll be out of the trenches.
But yeah, in the meantime, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back on Monday. Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.